Hello everyone. In this video, we will learn about how to create web application in Visual Studio. For creating Visual application in Visual Studio, I have Visual Studio installed in my PC, and I am using a MVC 5. So everyone who have earlier version of Visual Studio like Visual Studio 2010, 12, or 13 can use the same thing that I am using in here. So we are making a single simple CMS in Visual Studio, and I hope you all like this my video. For creating a starting, I just create a project. As you see that I have here my account login. That's not needed, and we just simply get started like this. So I am creating empty application, that is MVC, and click OK. So you see that this is creating the project, and this will be seen, the file will be seen in Solution Explorer. The shortcut for Solution Explorer is Ctrl Alt N. I can simply say but go by use Ctrl Alt L. This will help us getting the file that is in my project. So I am creating a controller, home controller. So you can see that this is our project structure, and this is our abstract, and this is our roots. So every request will become, this will be default controller, or default controller will be home for every request it come, and if action will be not passed, it will pass to index file. And the ID is optional, so ID is not required in the URL. So this is the routing, and you see that when I add a controller, this is also added a folder home in my project views folder, and I need to add a layout. That's earlier in ASP.NET that we call it master page. In MVC terms we call it layout page. So I am adding a layout like this, and this is a layout page. So you see that there is underscore here. Underscore means that this is not a normal view, and I mistakenly had it created here. It should be in the shared folder. So I am adding a shared folder and adding it here. Okay. So this is you see that there is a thing like render body. What actually does it? If I add my views here and use this layout page, this will simply use this master page for the views. So you see these things, the model will contain all this search. For we are doing we are making any functionality in our application, it will go in the models. And this is controller. All requests will be handled by controller, and all user interaction. For example, if I need to fetch a partial view, or I need to make a just cut, all will be used in controllers. And this is our views. This is called presentation layer in MVC architecture. So this is our views, and this will contain, in this MVC application, this will contain our HTML code, our dynamic HTML code. So let's get started. So I have this is our configuration file. So this you can see that there is some settings like app settings, and I need to add a connection string, right? So I am using MySQL here, and let's get started. Okay. So using MySQL, I need to simply use MySQL connector to connect to my MySQL database, and this is adding into our MVC application. Okay. So I have added MVC in my MySQL in my application, and I am adding Dapper. So this is how we are going to connect with my MySQL server. So I think okay. So this is our MySQL database, and you can see that I have a WordPress database that I can use in my application, and we can simply make another database. For example, I make a database like So when we refresh it, we can better use MySQL Workbench that is free. I have actually did trial of this software and we can use better use Workbench. Both work the same, but this is not a free software. This is a trial, and that is free software come from Oracle. So okay, so we are not doing anything right or like this. We will simply get the things from. I am not sure how to connect at connection here. Let's hope it will work. And database equal to Anvita. Maybe this will be fail. I'm not sure. So let's add. So I am adding. I am trying to connect to my MySQL. So we are using simply using system dot data dot mysql. Sorry. So what I'm doing is I'm connecting to MySQL. If you want to use some other things like SQL Server or another kind of database, you can do that. I am using RDBMS, and you can connect to that thing like you want. But look, if that is RDBMS, the things will be same because all will be derived from SQL data client, SQL MySQL sorry system.data.sql client, and if there is thing like on MySQL, that is depend on you. So I'm using MySQL in my Discord base. You can use whatever you want. So this is a class, and I am making. Let's see if it's working or not. So let's see what happens if I call this method here. For calling this method, we can simply use with the dot model, because this is under this namespace. And let's try it out. So what happens if I call things like, sorry, the method is not public, like, or this is the instance method. I need to make it static so I can use it without creating an instance. So let's see what happens when if this is working, this will work. So let's try it out. So we are running our application in Firefox. You can use Chrome or Edge, whatever you want. So it will work in any browser you are using. And let's see what it's going. The first time the request will take some time because application started, and everything will just will take 2 seconds. And in all the second request, 2 seconds, you can see that the things are very faster than compared to first request. So okay, so I think it's working. No issue. Okay, so I think our connection is working. So that's good. So what I'm doing here is what I need to do is that this is our WordPress database, and we need to have some data from here. So you see that I have home post here. So let's add some page. For example, I need to show the category page, categories. So you see that I have added the categories, but not the rows. So what will happen in this project? Okay, so you can see that the routing for this is okay. So the routing has been shifted here. In earlier version of MVC, like MVC1, the routing is used in global.ajax file. But later on, Microsoft ASP.NET moved it to root config. So if you are using MVC4, probably don't confuse it with it. It will be available here in global.ajax. In the new version of MVC5, it's available in root config file. So the URL will be controller/action. So I can use this like okay. So I need to move stop the our breakpoint, and I can simply call it like slash home slash categories. So this is saying this is called visort. This is the page that is used for showing error in ASP.NVC. By default, it is not visible. We can enable it like custom error off. This means the ASP.NET will handle this error and show it to the, for example, you can see that mod equal to off. This means we are saying to Visual Studio that is to the IS server that you can show the error. So if you want to see this in production, you can do this, but this is not a good idea because showing the relo pages visor to the user is not a good idea. We should only use it in our testing server because we don't show our visor page to the user. So you see that the page is not there. So let's add it. Okay, so I'm adding some pages like this. So this is our category page. What about the model? I want to add the model to our class, to our project. So let's leave it here. I will add it manually. So I am creating a category class. So this is category class, and you can see that actually in WordPress there is two things. First is called category and second called text. So we can create an interface like using this, and this is called taxonomy. Taxonomy is a WordPress term used for two things, that is text and categories. So I'm creating interface here, and I just added int id, that's it, string name, that's it, string slug, that's it. You can see that this is interface, and I can simply use it here like I taxonomy because I already am inside my namespace is already under the normal, so I don't need to add the namespace here. So I'm adding implement interface. So this is not a good practice. I can simply copy paste that thing here, and I need to use access modifier. So what does it say? That categories and implement interface like okay. So this should be work. I think this they want me to make it public, right? Okay, so I am making this thing public. So you can see that those errors are gone, and I can use the same thing for text. Text have same methodology, so I can paste these things here. But I need to use, actually you can see that this is singular and this is plural. This is a best practice. We use the same things all over the app. So I'm making singular. So you can see the tag, and we can, if you see the error that this is saying that Anivata models already containing definition from category. This means that two classes, the same class cannot be defined multiple times. So I am using text here, and you can see that the error is gone because the name is only found once. So what if I need to get some data from category? So let's make it a category manager. So we can, I think we should make something simpler. So I am making a method so I can get, so what I'm doing here, I'm getting all category from my database. So I am writing a SQL query. So we can see that there is a database, and you can see that this will have our data. I think we can call it like, and you can see that this is getting our category, and you can see that there is no name here. So I need to do something to fetch it from here. Okay, so we need to add it from here. Sorry. So you are saying that I have getting data from here, and I need to make it like this. WP terms on WP terms, the term ID equal to WP term taxonomy dot term ID. Okay, so I'm getting the data. So you can see that we have an error. I think we should do something like this. Okay, so we are getting our data. So we are getting some Hindi value. Actually, this is the language that is used in Hindi, India. So this will look like different. I will explain you later. So we are, so in this code, this is showing me 10 result, 11 result. So let's write. If you are using entity framework or other things, you can use that thing here. You don't need to write SQL query. In my case, I prefer writing SQL query to fetch the data, but you can use entity framework like also. So we can get this thing like here. So you can see that I have already a class here, and this can cause some issue. ID name slug. So you can see that term ID name slug. I can simply use this query and sorry, like this ID. So this will be used as the way I want. So let's make a generic function. I think I am missing something. Okay. So what are you doing here? You can see that I am using a thing here that I will return here. So for example, if I pass through the pass query here and let's see this thing. So I didn't need to open the connection. It should do it already, do it itself. If I pass a open connection to the depper, it will not close. I need to close it because the question is opened by myself, my code. So if you pass the connection without open, depper will open it and close it itself. So what we need to do is the method query. Okay, we are seeing nothing here. We can use simply like using uh, so we will use async programming here, and what we are doing it, this might need some parameter, so I am doing things like this. This is called muse object, and we can use it like this. So what you are saying is, remember that this is return a task enumerable t, task of enumerable t, I enumerable. So this is a collection, and this is asynchronous collection. So we can use something like this, and this is not similar to this, same to this. So we can make it a bit. So because I have made this method a bit, I need to make this method asynchronous also. So I can make it like async task. Okay, so task is not here because we need to add it like this. This is called TPL, Task Planner Library. This method is introduced in 3.5 on .NET, and you can see that. Okay, so I need to open it here. So what I'm doing here is I make a asynchronous call to the database and getting the data. So I can simply call it like db helper.get data category, and passing my SQL query here because I have nothing, so I can simply do it like this, and let's return it. So when I returning it, it's saying that the method is returning a task and I am returning a this. So my method, because the method is asynchronous, I can simply call it like this. And because in C# what we does is, for making it clear, we make the method and with suffix with async. So this is simply saying that method is async, and you can see that I have used okay. So with this is not matching, so I need to make it match. Same thing here, because I have this is sorry. So you can see that this is not working. There is no exception here. And what we do need to do it, let's call this add model in the application. Because we have method already open reference here, we can simply like call this like this. So you can see that this is written with the task, but I need to, so I will need to make it await. So this is not working to work because we need, if we need to make it work, we need to make it converted to task. So let's make it async because we are using await keyword in here. We need to make it async. So the task is not found here, so I'm adding an MSP, and you can see that this should work. So this was our, okay, so you can see that okay, this will be called here, and we can simply use this feature control and V to go to the views. So we can simply define like this, list of I. Okay, so we are not getting anything here because this thing does not know, this view does not know what I am doing. So I can add burst like this, and there is one more thing we can, there is one more way I can do this. We can simply add it to this config. So if there is something that I need to use in multiple ways, I didn't need to do it on all pages. I can simply put it here. So you can see that this is not understanding because I need to restart my Visual Studio to make it work. So I'm closing the application and let's enter again. So I think it's not understanding what I'm doing. What's not get is make issue. Let's make it work. So this, you see that this is understanding now. Okay. So okay, sorry. So this is why this was the iNumber connection, and this should work. They are saying that we will not config, but it will be one after one time compilation. This is the issue earlier in Visual Studio, but this is not, will not make any problem. So you can see that this is a connection, and let's run it. Okay, so our breakpoint is hit right now, and this is fine. So I think nothing is going wrong. And what I need to do now is I need to make a loop on my collection. So what I can do simply here is for each one category in model. So when we take our cursor here, it's saying that this is iNumberable category that I defined here. If I define it to something else, it will change. It will change here. So let's make a list. For example, okay, so I'm making a mistake. This is a single similar thing. Okay, so I can simply write like this. In ASP NET MVC, our views are compiled at the time at the runtime. So if I make any changes in my views, I need to search just refresh and my view will be work. If I make any changes in my controllers and application in models, it will not work. It will only work if I use edit and continue, and in that case the views will work. But normally I need to make any changes. The student not allow me. For example, if I writing anything here, this is saying that changes are not allowed in code we are running. And if I need to make changes here, I can, for example, as we seen that we have this thing here. Okay, so I need to change the thing at the time of debugging. So I can simply do this thing like this. This will be hit my index. Okay, so I'm currently hitting the wrong path. I'm hitting this endpoint, and you can see that if I write something like this, okay, what will happen now is that it will take my changes. Okay, so I think there is something wrong. We didn't pass it to. So this is saying that this current, okay, and now you can see that I didn't compile my project, and this should take the changes I made. Okay, so you can see this is the data that I set here. So all changes make at the time of debugging and edit and continue, it will work. But for in other cases, we need to compile our project. So we can see our text here. This is a Hindi actually. So this is sound like look like this, but it's work. So let's make some features. So I have shown the how to use category, and we can do something like this for text, right? And what I like the way I made this code, I can simply make a text class also. Actually, what is from now that it's I have a preview feature on. So if I choose now, it will not. Okay. So this is our tag manager. I am using MP5, so everyone can, if with the earlier version of Visual Studio, can use the same methodology that I am using here. In MVC, in .NET Core 2, I can also do that same thing, but it will not be easier to other people who have earlier version of Visual Studio. So this is why I am using 2015. So the things will be similar, but a little bit different in .NET Core 2. So I am getting tag here. Okay. So all I need to do is I need to change that thing to category text. So I think I don't have any. Okay, I have some tag. When I make this changes, I just need to change that. Sorry. So this is how our tag works. So we can do things like text. Okay. So I can simply call tag manager and text. Okay. So in our application, we need to make things constant. For example, if I need to make it plural, it should be also plural. And the same methodology, same style can be used, should be used all over the app. For example, some people use different things and different kind of methodology, style. For example, some people put their class on the top of classes, and some people put that struct things on the bottom of the page. For example, another canonical case, if you do the refactoring using resharper, it will take your inner classes to the bottom or stuck to the bottom. But some people do it on the top of their classes. So whatever you do, you should be consistent in all over the application. Or in this case, I have category tag, and I can do similar thing like this. Okay. So what we are doing wrong is that the model have passed the things of category, and the expected is text. So let's see what I have done wrong. I am using category here. Okay, so I should also change it to the tag that I am providing. So I have need to change it here also. Okay, so it should work now. Okay, okay, we have category tags here, we have category here, but do you think that that page is not updated? So we will change it here, tags. Okay, so this is our tags, and okay, we are getting the thing here, and okay, so what a blog does, no, manually, simple words. A blog have a list in their homepage where they see the content, and we choose the click on the post to go to separate post, and in that URL, after the click, the post is showing. The post have some categories, some tags, and some comments in the bottom of the page. So let's do that thing here. So what I prefer now is the okay. So let's simply get the data here now. So I do not have created a post, and I can simply get it from WP post. So let's get it. Okay, so in home page we might need some role test details, so we do not make too much overload on the database. So we need to have some post manager things like this. So we have a class manager. Okay, so I don't have create a post, so I need to make a class called post. So this will have things like a ID, post ID. So this is constructor. Okay. So this is property. I can simply write like this. So what is the how we can use it? So I can simply write prop, and this is property dependency generation attached. Okay. So I can simply write like this dependent property. So we can use this this thing called code snippet. So you can see that this have showing me some kind of description also, and this time I need to only property. I can simply drag prop and click on tab, so this will show me things like this. And I have a title in my post, and so we have a slug here, that is the URL. Okay, so what we are doing now is that we need to get this in okay. So as you seen earlier, I need to make it async, so I'm doing things like this. So let's get started. Sorry. So I can simply, I have few property in here that I need to fetch. That is ID, title, slug, and I can make a manual property that is called public string accept. So you can see that there is a property. I can simply fetch it from here. Wp dot id, wp post dot title. I think this thing called some different. This thing called so I think this will be our URL slug. Okay, so this is our. So you see that I just write in the column name that and I just now write to the name and proper of my C# property that I need to map it to. So I am getting things like this from limit 10. So it will return me some 10 element from here, but I also need to make it ordered from my from the date last date the post has been done. So I can do something like this. What do I post date task? I think the limit will be go after the task. Okay, so I'm getting the thing that I want, and there is something missing here. I need to get a little part of content that I can show. So I can, okay, so there's ID, title, select and eject. So this is ID and this is title. I need to map it to the same column name that I am using here, slug. Okay, so I need a slug, and I need another thing called eject. Eject a little part of the content. I can simply use it some magical function to get that thing. So I think there is thing called substring. So I am using post content and I using 50. So let's see what happened. Okay, so I think I'm not sure what it does. So this thing called position or length, I can simply write 150. So this means that I need to a 150 character from that. So maybe this is wrong. Maybe something is wrong. I can do things like trim here. So this is not working also. So this thing doesn't work here. We can simply get post content, and we can do that thing on our. So things will be work like this. Okay, I'm not sure why this thing is not working, and maybe there is something else that we can use. I think there is a thing called substring. Okay, this is not working. This is also not working. So maybe we need to do something else. Okay, forget it. We will do that on our plan side. Our code G sharp. So I'm doing this as because adjust is a keyword that is reserved in MySQL. So we can do put this special factor in on the uh, as prefix and suffix to make it work. So we are getting what we need to get, and I'm getting. So we need to, if we write this thing, this means that we are getting starting time. In SQL Server, this thing works differently, but this is not a concern of my video. We can get this data here. So what I'm doing here is I'm getting this. So what we need to do is now is the temp. Okay, so this is not finding the namespace. So I can simply write alt enter. Okay, so this is not working here. No sure. I can simply do it manually. So you can see that what I'm doing is I am passing the parameter this way. We can do it other way also. For example, I can make it to work like this. So what I'm doing here is if I go to page 1, I need to simply get it to starting 10 elements. So I will be have value 1 here and 10 here, and the start will be 1 by 10 by means 10 minus 10 equal to 0. So this will be work like this. So I didn't need to add that parameter using this command property. I can simply define it like this: start limit. And in MySQL query, we can simply run those like this. This is the better way to do the same thing. So this should work, and let's try it out. Okay, so in home controller we will get our, sorry, so you see that I have passed it parameter twice, so I didn't think I need to do this parameter, and we can simply go to home controller back. So if I am here and I simply go to using here by using F12, I can simply use this function called navigate backward. What it does is that it have condition that where I was earlier. So you can see that I earlier I was in home controller, earlier I was home post manager, and earlier I was post.cs. So this means every time I make a move in a diff project, I can simply write it like this, and you can see that this have activated. So this means that I need to, for navigate forward, I can simply just click here and go there where I was. So this is a helpful feature, and I am accepting my parameter here equal to 1. Okay, so what was the value of in routing? The routing is optional parameter. So if the URL doesn't have a parented parameter, it will work. It will simply pass it to here. But if this parameter does not optional, it is a must to have it in URL. So I have make it a optional parameter. This thing called optional parameter in C#. This simply means that if the parameter is not presented in the URL or the routing or the or passing the URL, then it will have a default value equal to 1. So I paste the ID, and I have set the limit. I can make it const because I did not need to. I didn't want to my variable to change anywhere. So we can simply call base limit. What if I change it here? What it does is saying is that the left hand side of all assignment must be a variable property on desktop. So this will work if I remove the const, and so this is a private thing. So I need to mark it private. Okay, sorry, private, and this is the page limit. I make it a camel case because this is a private thing. If this is a public thing, I can make it passport case. So this is so you can see that I need to use await, otherwise it will return the task. So I need to make it like this. So I need to also make it to async. So you'll be seeing that I have used I enumerable instead of a list collection. This simply means that I can simply return one element from that collection of them. In if I use list, I can need to simply return the all of the object at once. In enumerable, if when looping is started, this will be called, and so on. Whenever I loop, this function will return will be called. If the function wants, it can also use one single value at a time. this will work like return yield 1, for example, like this. Okay, so I'm doing something. So you can see this okay. So this is saying that I cannot be repeated because I have already done this. So if I hide removing this, I can simply make it break like yield break. This means that I am stopping my collection here. So this is called the daisy loading kind of thing, and let's run it. So for getting the push over in showing in over here, we need to use something like, so the thing I did is invalid HTML because every, okay, so not sure, this might have trouble because I modified the page at the time of the debug. This is, so this is saying that this is the null. So what I do is I need to make it model, not, so this is the thing I did wrong. Okay, so you can see that I have written the 10 post here. So this is thank you for watching my video. This is the enough for today. In the next video I will show you how to make forms and post the data from the HTML to the server. Thank you for watching my video. Goodbye.